Welcome to the ClubOS Feature Spotlight on Automation. My name is Nick Hahn, and I am the VP of Product for ClubOS and ASF. With me today is Kristen Coy. Kristen, why don't you say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm a product manager with ClubOS. I've been with ClubOS for about 5 years. Previous to being on the product team, I was an account manager with some of our top HVLP customers. Previous to that, I was also in the fitness industry. So I've been around for almost a decade in the fitness industry.
Ooh, that's a while. I haven't had the pleasure of being in the industry that long yet, but I am enjoying it so far. So automation is a broad topic. Today, we'll be focusing on how the best-in-class ClubOS customers use automation to make their sales and marketing teams more effective and efficient. Before we get started, though, with the demo, Kristen, can you introduce the different types of club to prospect and member communication that can happen within ClubOS?
Sure. So there's automation and there's manual communication that can happen. So there are three types of automation that can send out. You have your brand kind of marketing automation that can send, that's really going to focus on really informational, promotional, those type of things coming from the company. Then you also have automation that can be sent kind of on behalf of the salesperson. So it's really meant to kind of spark that conversation and kind of just guide that messaging to the prospects. We also have event reminders that can go out. And so whenever a tour or a personal training event is scheduled, we can send that confirmation message out with all the information about their event.
Awesome, cool. So what do you see as the biggest value that automation brings to a club?
It can really kind of reduce those mindless tasks. So it can really save your staff member time. It helps the marketing team kind of preset that communication journey that they want for the month or the year. So you can kind of set all of that up, and then ClubOS just helps send it for you. And that way the staff and the marketing team can really focus on what's next and the prospects that are within the club.
Okay, that all makes sense. Why don't you start us on through a demo of how this all works?
So where I'm going to start is actually from the prospect view so that we're able to see what happens and what automation I receive as a prospect when I show interest in the club. So I'm going to start here. What we're looking at is the join online page. So I'm going to fill this out to check out their memberships. So what I'm able to see here are the different options. And so I'm going to take a look. I'll just pick one of these, the monthly membership, and I'll do join now. But then when I really start to look at all the fees and all of the things that are involved, I decide, you know what, I'll come back to this. I'll check the gym out. I don't want to purchase online. So I'm going to X out. So as the prospect, after I close out and I don't end up joining online, the next time I go and check my email, I will have a email from the club with all the information that I need. So it's a very informational email. And then it also has a call to action. And a nice thing to throw in is something like a promo code for a free month so that the call to action will hopefully get them to click the button and continue the join online process.
Now, how come the first thing that ClubOS is configured to do here was to send an email? Why wouldn't you just have a salesperson make a phone call first?
You'll want to do both, but an email goes out immediately to ensure that we make contact and that we give them all the information that they need, and we try to get them to continue the process. And then a follow-up phone call should occur so that you can help them through with any questions they have or find out why they didn't end up joining online, and then you can continue that relationship and get them to come into the club.
Now, that's if they answer the phone, right? I mean, Gen Z, millennials, we like screening our calls a lot more. What if they don't answer their phone call?
Sure. So I can show you what happens. So as a staff member, I'm prompted here, my follow-up window for the phone call. So we have our person who abandoned their cart here already popped up in my task list. I'm going to hit the follow-up button and I will make my phone call. And let's say they don't answer, they screen the call. I'll leave a message and then I'll save. And then as soon as that happens, because they are still within this status, the next thing that'll happen is the automation will go out with a text message with, again, another call to action. This time, the call to action will be focused on, hey, they decided not to sign up. They got our email. They decided not to continue the process. They didn't answer their phone. So now the next thing we want them to do is we want them to come in so that we can help them with that sign up process, show them the club and everything that we have to offer. prospect, when I go to check my text messages, I'll have one from the green garage. This is a text from Kristen, the salesperson, reaching out to get me to come into the club and book a tour.
What's the value of booking a tour here? Shouldn't they just come in whenever they're available?
It's makes them a little more self-sufficient. It makes it a little easier for them to book their own convenient time. Also, it's just kind of an extra added step of making them feel more accountable for showing up for their appointment.
Okay, can you show us how they go through the booking of a tour?
Sure. You would just simply click the link directly from the text message, and it'll take you to the book online form. You would fill this out to pick a date and time that works best for you. And it's as simple as that for the prospect to book their own tour.
All right, awesome. And then there's a reminder that will go out also. So you set that appointment up for 5 p.m. today. They're going to get a reminder ahead of that appointment?
Correct. It's configurable, but I'd say an hour or two before, we can set it up for the automated reminder to go out to them. It also includes a confirmation instruction, so they can reply confirm, and the staff member would be able to see that the person has confirmed their appointment.
Okay, awesome. So it's just like make an appointment at your doctor's office now.
Exactly.
All right, cool. So Sammy walks into the club. What does the salesperson do at that point?
The salesperson actually doesn't have to do much. They'll just greet them when they come in, and they will direct them towards the guest waiver so that they can check in for their appointment. So this would be an example of a guest waiver. And so if the guest comes in, they would just say, yep, I am here. I actually do have an appointment. And then they'd be able to see their name listed, and it just makes for a really quick, easy check-in process.
Okay, awesome. Based on what we've seen from our customers, we only see even our best customers only closing at maybe the 40 to 60% of appointments. Can you show us what will happen if I come in for that appointment and I don't actually purchase a membership?
Yes, if you go through and check in through the waiver and you receive your tour and you don't take further action, like you don't activate a guest pass for a free trial or you do not sign up for a membership, you're going to be moved automatically into a status called missed guest. And then a follow-up will be assigned to the staff member so that they can reach out. I can kind of show you what that looks like. So Sammy didn't sign up for a membership, so she's listed here in my task list.
So why wouldn't you just do an automatic text or email here?
Yeah, so there's a time and place for automation. So we've talked about the ways that it can really help you out and save you time. But for some situations, especially when there's really, it needs to be like a human component, such as this situation where you've met the person, you've had conversations, you know maybe why they didn't join, you kind of know what those next steps are for that person. You don't just want like a blanket automation to go out to them. You really, at this point in the prospecting journey, you wanted to really tailor that communication to the conversations that you've had. So you'd really want to kind of reach out personally here.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Like the idea of there being such a thing as too much automation really resonates with me, where, the target gym demographic is largely 18 to 35-year-olds who have grown up with automation and the internet and mobile devices everywhere. At this point, I feel like most of the people in that demographic can tell when it's fake. Even the best, most mature AI, you can kind of tell when it's automation. So it really resonates the idea of making sure that you're doing it at the right point. Because once I have a relationship with you, you should know it's me. I don't want you just sending me out a blast message that doesn't actually correspond to the interaction we had. I might have talked to you about how, you know what, no, I don't want to join right now. I need a couple of weeks because I'm waiting for my second COVID vaccine, for example. You wouldn't want an automation to just go out the next day, immediately ignoring the interactions that we had. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Kristen. Thank you for the demo today. Thank you for the walkthrough, and thanks for your thoughts on automation.
Absolutely.